All right, welcome back. This is going to be part 61 of Dinosaurs and Man, and we're going to continue on with the topic of dinosaurs in the Congo swamp of Africa, and in that general region. But if you'll notice on the screen here, we're just going to jump right on into this. This right here came from that article, There Could Be Dinosaurs by Ivan T. Sanderson back in 1948. And he's quoting Carl Hagenbeck. Now, we've talked about Carl Hagenbeck in the previous videos before this one, but it says here, he says, in widely separated areas, he, Carl Hagenbeck, collected descriptions of an alleged beast named the Mokele-Mbembe from experienced native guides who could not possibly have known each other. His, Carl Hagenbeck's, description states, and this is what Carl Hagenbeck says, the animal is said to be of a brownish gray color with a smooth skin. It is its size approximating that of an elephant, at least that of a hippopotamus. It is said to have a long and very flexible neck, and only one tooth, but a very long one. Some say it is a horn. A few spoke about a long muscular tail like that of an alligator. Canoes coming near it are said to be doomed. The animal is said to attack the vessel at once and to kill the crew, but without eating the bodies. Now, this Mokele-Mbembe that they're talking about looks like this animal right here. And so, now remember guys, we're not talking about giant dinosaurs that you would find in most of your museums. These animals that are reported to be alive today, that I believe that are alive today, are much smaller animals. They're much smaller representations of what you see in the museum. So you got to remember that before the flood, the world was way much different. And we're going to talk about that, Lord willing, in the months and even years to come. But pronounce that Mokele-Mbembe. Mokele-Mbembe. Now, this animal looks like an apatosaurus, and that right there is what the pygmies describe when they talk about this animal. And again, we're going to talk about this in future videos, but it depends on which area in Africa that you're talking about. Certain natives give it a different name depending on their language. And so, but they all describe a general appearance of what you see right here. And so the pygmy here is about 4 foot tall, 4 foot tall. Now the apatosaurus, most popular, the description is about the size of a hippopotamus with a long long neck and head and a long tail. But some have described it of being upwards of the size of an elephant. So somewhere between a hippopotamus and an elephant is what has been described. Now, Dr. Roy Mackal says in his book, in an interview that he did, that the animal is described as being as big as an elephant, or at least as big of a hippopotamus. There you go again. It has a long head and a neck and a long tail. It has feet like that, like a hippopotamus, but it has 3 claws that are on each of these feet. Every kind of animal we can think of that is alive today does not fit this picture. The closest that it comes to, and amazing as it may seem, is a dinosaur that is extinct perhaps 65 to 70 million years ago. And remember, Roy Mackal he was an evolutionist. And so now this right here is a map of Mokele-Mbembe sightings. All those red dots there, those are different areas that the Mokele-Mbembe has been sighted. One of them being Lake Telly. Lake Telly is an area that the Mokele-Mbembe, that dinosaur animal, has been seen. And so now what they do is they've been seen kind of walking along in the water. They stay in the water mostly, and with their back and their neck kind of out of the water, and they eat this plant that is called the Malumbo plant. The Malumbo plant, and this right here is a picture of that. It's the preferred food of the Mokele-Mbembe. And so what Mackel was saying also is that they, if any hippopotamuses get into the area, the Mokele-Mbembe will chase them away because the animal wants to try to protect its source of food. And so, but it's described as a white plant, like a white flower on it, and it has like a pear-like fruit with a sap that is milky sweet. Roy Mackel going on to say, we noted with interest that the Malumbo, the reported food of Mokele-Mbembe, grew in great profusion along the riverbanks. Like giant snakes, great lianas, the tropical vines, rose into the air from the river, supported by the trunks and branches of trees. The round edible fruits were also visible, but only a few of the beautiful white flowers of this plant were evident. All we needed to complete the scene was a real live Mokele-Mbembe. At that moment, we all felt that indeed these animals must exist in this lost world. And so again, he's going on to saying that everything that the natives are saying as far as the description and what they eat and the area is matching up. And so he just needs the animal to complete it. Now, these little washout, little dugouts that you see right here have been described at some of the areas that the Mokele-Mbembes will hang out in. And so now I will say, for those of you that want to further your knowledge about this subject, and where I've gotten some really good information from was a YouTube channel called Crypto Hunt. It's run by Bill Gibbons. Now, Bill Gibbons has actually made expeditions out to these areas and is extremely knowledgeable about the area and the peoples and what is described. And so I really highly respect the man, and I am a subscriber to his YouTube channel. But I'm telling you guys, if you ever get a chance, check out his videos. Remember, Crypto Hunt. I'll put a link in the description below for my YouTubers, and for my Facebook people, I will put a link in the description above. And so, but this what you're seeing right here is a cave that evidently the entrance had fallen in on itself, and so that cave was sealed in by some a mudslide or what have you, and so they weren't able to look inside of it, but they did see some claw marks, and so not sure what had made it, but it's in the area where supposedly the Mokele-Mbembes had been, and so now. If you'll notice, about right there in the middle of the screen, if I'm thinking correctly, they saw what appeared to be a claw kind of stabbed in there. And what they did is they took a latex mold of that, and what they saw was these claws. This is what came out of that latex mold. And so very well, could this be the claws of a Mokele-Mbembe? I tell you what, we'll go ahead, we'll stop right there. When we come back, we're going to be looking at some interviews that was made, I think, on two different pygmy tribes that are native in that area, and we'll look at what they said and what they were able to learn. But you guys take care. I hope the Lord blesses you real good. I love you. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.